Welcome back to the BBynd Self podcast, where we grow daily, weekly, monthly, yearly, back towards our true selves. Today, our topic of discussion will be about limited self-imposed beliefs. But before we get into that, I have a few things that I want to talk about that I have coming out in the next month or two before we get into 2022. So, next month, I will be re-releasing BBynd You Are Who You Are Because of You in hardback cover. So those of you that like to drink your coffee while you're reading in the morning, and sometimes you don't always be fully up, and you spill that coffee on your paperback book, you ain't got to worry about it getting messed up no more. We got the new hardback cover. And then another thing that's going to be different in this book, on the last one, it was white pages on the inside. And you know, that kind of put a strain on people's eyes. So this book will be in a cream color, so it'll make it easier to read. Also, it's still available in paperback, so you can go ahead and go on Amazon and check that out right now. Another thing, check out this week's episode of BBynd Mondays on my YouTube channel. You can look that up at BBynd Self on YouTube. That's BBynd Self. And you can look that up and my whole catalog will come up. All the videos, podcasts that I done did, all the Monday Beyonds that I done did for the last year and a half. There's a couple episodes of Morning Beyonds on there. So if y'all like inspiration and y'all like to go to YouTube, just go to my YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell so you get all the notifications about whenever I post something. And y'all just go over there and y'all just be inspired, get motivated so y'all can, tune into yourselves, into your higher life, to your higher frequency, and become the best version of yourself. So, another thing, y'all follow my photography page on Instagram at BBynd Visuals. You can follow that at BBynd Visuals. That's BBynd Visuals, VISUALS on Instagram. Follow me on TikTok at BBynd NYD9, BBynd9 on TikTok for all the daily motivation. I'll be posting all the morning Beyonds on there. So Monday through Friday, you will be able to go on my TikTok and you will be able to wake up in the morning and have that instant motivation, that instant inspiration. Everything is instant. Everything is instant. That's the world we're living in now. So that's what I got going on. Y'all be on the lookout for the book, for the re-release. BBynd You Are Who You Are Because of You in hardback. Also, y'all like and subscribe, share videos, because we got to get all this positive information out in this world. We got to get it circulating on the net so other people can wake up, so we can make this world a better place. We can turn this world into the world that we want it to be. We can turn this world into the world that we see it being. But we got to help each other out. So y'all go ahead and do that. And we're going to go ahead and get into this week's episode. So today, we talking about limited self-imposed beliefs. So when I think, the first thing that comes to my mind when I think about limited self-imposed beliefs, I think about all the limitations that I put on myself. All the negative things that I tell myself that's not possible for me. All the things that I tell myself that I can't do. All the things that I tell myself that I'm not capable of, or stuff that I feel that I might not be able to accomplish. All those thoughts are not ours. I need y'all to understand that first. The thoughts that come to us that are negative are not ours. Those are other people's reflections. So when we allow other people's reflection of what they're feeling internally, then we're going to start behaving how that person behaves. And then we wonder why we are off course. We're limiting ourselves. We're limiting our thinking to the thoughts of other people. So how do we regain control back over our own thoughts? How do we not allow outside influences influence us internally? Now, it's okay for people to put out information, and it's okay for you to grasp that But don't allow what other people fear to become your fears. Because now you're limiting your potential. Now you're limiting the vision that you're able to see for yourself. Now you have a doubt in your mind that's not your own. So I need you all to understand that first. Most of these negative thoughts, most of these negative visions, most of these negative talks that we have, not only with ourselves but with other people, they're off of reflections, off of other conversations, and off of other environments that we don't put ourselves in. So, identifying self-doubt, identifying negative self-talk, identifying true self and your true passions. Let's dive into that. Who are you? What do you want? And what are the things that you truly enjoy doing? And not because someone else said it's cool to do that, but because you feel it in your heart that I can't stop doing this. I got to do this. And if I don't do this, then I'm going to feel sick. And nobody wants to live like that, but that's how we're all living. We're living off of what the world dictates on how we should live our lives. And when we live based off of how other people think we should live our lives, we create chaos. We create uncontrolled chaos. And you can't grow. You can't grow in uncontrolled chaos. The only way for us to be able to truly evolve and to see ourselves in a higher light and to really be our true selves, we have to learn how to be okay when we're alone. Because that's where the only truth is. The truth is when you sitting in that room and it's 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning and you can't go nowhere, everywhere is closed, and you have no distractions. Nobody's up but you. In those moments, when it get dark in your mind and you feel like you just can't take it no more, those are the moments where you define who you are. Because you can either go in one or two directions. You can either go the direction that you've been going in, that's keeping you in those cycles, in those timeless cycles, that's going to continue unless you make the choice to go the other way. The true way. The way that you know that you should go, even though it's going to be hard, even though you're not going to have all the financial means that you may need, even though you might not have all the support that you may need, even though you might not have every resource that you may need, but this is the direction you need to go into. It's harder over here, but it's necessary over here in order for you to be able to grow, in order for you to be able to overcome yourself, in order for you to be able to shine light on who you really are to you. Because remember, this is about you and about discovering. No, it's about rediscovering you. So until you shine light on yourself and on who you really are and on what you really passionate about and about what you really like to do and how you define you operate in this world, then nothing else matters. So identify who you are. Identify your passions. Identify where your doubt comes from. Identify where your negative self-talk comes from. Let's think about that for a second. Why do we talk down on ourselves when the world is already against us? And we know that. We all have that information and knowledge. The world do not have our best interests in mind. So why don't we prepare ourselves and strengthen up ourselves and our mentals and sharpen up our iron, which is our knowledge, to be able to come out here and have the best experiences out here in this world. What is it going to take for us to hit that switch in our minds to say, okay, enough of that? You can't stop the negative self-talk from coming, but you can stop it when it comes. And you can feel that void. You can feel that self-talk or that negative talk to yourself. You can fill that up with something positive. So when you get up, say you get up in the morning at the time that you want to wake up, and the first thing that fills your mind is, oh, snooze button, it's too early. It's still dark outside. I don't even hear the birds yet. Or the moment you hear snooze button start coming in your mind, tell yourself that you have an opportunity. Tell yourself that this moment right here is the moment that you've been praying for to be in for the last 4 or 5 weeks. When you've been oversleeping during that alarm, when that alarm was going off, you still didn't hear it. But this is the first time, the first opportunity that you have to wake up at that alarm. So are you going to snooze? You're going to go left and continue the cycle and sleep to 8, 9, 10 o'clock and waste them 3 hours that you could have had? Or are you going to go to the right? Are you going to go to the right direction? Are you going to go in a direction that's going to change your life? Are you going to go in a direction that's going to allow you to grow as a person, as a man, as a woman, as a human, as a god, as a goddess? Life is about choices. Life is about choices. And the whole purpose of this episode and this podcast, the whole purpose of this is to make you aware of what you tell yourself that's stopping you in these moments of growth and during these opportunities that you have that you waste when you choose to go back to your old habits. Just be aware at the moment of you having to make that choice. So once you're aware, now you can identify what else is bothering you and what else is slowing you down and what else is creating those limiting self-imposed beliefs. What's triggering you? What are your triggers? Think about that. Think about when you're driving and somebody cut you off and you get upset. But just two left turns ago, you just did the same thing to somebody else, trying to make a right turn. What triggers you and why? Why do we allow certain things to get on our nerves, and why do we not hold ourselves accountable whenever we are in our feelings and we don't do the things that we need to do? We could have a whole day laid out, a whole day planned out. At this time, I'm going to do this. After that, I'm going to do this. Then I'm going to do that. Then I'm going to do this. And I'm going to take a break. After my break, I'm going to come back and I'm going to do that, this, that, and that. But if one thing in the morning happens before you get started on any one of them things, it can knock you off course for the rest of your day. Why? Why is it like that? What happened to you that makes you not want to be productive whenever something bad happens? What happened to you to not make you want to be creative and use that creative energy and use that energy to be constructive and to build something? Instead, you will allow yourself to drown in the sorrows of the moment, forgetting that it's just a moment. How do we overcome those triggers when they happen to us? This goes back to us having two choices. We can either go to the left and continue the cycles that we've been in, or we can go to the right where it's rough and it's wild. And we're going to have to chop down trees on the way, clearing out a path. And it's going to be hard. And you ain't going to have no support. You're going to have very little resources. And you're not going to have a whole lot of financial backing at first. But you're capable. You're capable. So at that moment, at them crossroads, when we get triggered and we don't feel like doing nothing after being triggered, or when we get triggered and we feel like we want to do something crazy, Think about those two choices. Do you want to continue the cycle you've been going in, or do you want to carve out a new life for yourself, for your future, for your family? It's all about how you look at it, perspective. We have to stop letting things outside of us have a hold on us. We need to stop allowing things that's not for our success and for our purpose to break us down, to beat on us mentally. Because physically we can withstand anything. We've been through it all. But it's mentally where we need to build and where we need to strengthen up our minds and where we just need to get after it. So we figuring these ways out on how we're going to be active. So after we identify what our triggers are, and after we figure out what it was that got us to being triggered, now we have to identify why it is that we're afraid of success. Because we tell ourselves that we can't do certain things so we don't get hurt. We protect ourselves in a way that's really to our own detriment because we don't show a faith in the world. We protect ourselves so much that we don't even believe that certain things are possible for us because we create that blind fear in ourselves subconsciously. I got a quote. It's time for us to stop saving ourselves and go out there on faith and allow the universe to start saving us. Give the universe a chance to save us. And what I mean by that, it's time to get active, fearlessly. When you want to wake up in the morning and you want to meditate, and when you want to wake up in the morning and you want to go to those 3 business meetings, those 3 opportunity meetings, and you want to go in there with the right frame of mind, you have to be fearless. That's not saying that you're not afraid. You just have to be fearless. You cannot let anything come to you and come approach you and be able to intimidate you. Those situations can do that because you know who you are. So that's all I want for y'all. I just want y'all to have a blind faith so we stop putting those barriers on ourselves. So we can really have a vision for the future for ourselves that's so big that we think we're crazy. Because it seems so impossible, but it's not. So we have to get outside of ourselves. Let's get outside of ourselves. Let's figure out why we want to be successful. Let's figure out why we want these things that we want. And then we'll know why we're afraid. And then we'll know why we're limiting ourselves. So that's today's episode. So y'all stay love. Y'all stay light. Y'all stay on the lookout for BBynd. You are who you are because of you. And y'all stay productive. Peace.